back to another episode. Happy 2024. I just wanted to come on here and show you guys a little project I've been working on for the last year or so. Picked this thing up last summer and decided to swap all of the parts from my 2500 Suburban onto it. It's got a couple upgrades, but anyways, figured I'd do the grand reveal here. A big reason for me picking this guy up over my last Suburban has a lot to do with this emblem right there. Those of you who know, in California, if you have a diesel, your vehicle does not have to be smogged. That being said, I can put whatever motor I want in this one. There's way more upgrades to be done, unlike the last one with the small block 350 that was in there. It was just a little bit of a dead-end road as far as power went. That was really the motor that she was going to be stuck with for a while, unless we wanted to get really wild and do like an LS swap or something like that and transfer all the parts off of a donor truck. So this is going to be a lot more of a good base for me to build off of. I figured I would show you guys a couple of the upgrades I've done in the meantime. I know the last truck update we did was maybe, it was probably over a year and a half ago at this point. So yeah, let's take a look. So I might have mentioned earlier the other Suburban was a 2500. A little while back I stumbled across another 3500 Chevy that somebody had torn all apart. They had cut the roof off of it. They were going to do a roll cage. Ultimately, I ended up being able to buy that truck for about 700 bucks. It was a real score. And what I did was I needed this front axle right here. In order to turn this thing into a 3500, I wanted that Dana 60 Kingpin front end, the Chevy version. The Fords are getting really easy to find, but the Chevys are pretty rare. And that was just an absolute score of an opportunity. I should probably also talk a little bit more about my reasoning for getting this thing. The other truck had a lot of rust damage up here along the top, and the top of the windows. I did also end up adding the Reed Kingpin knuckles. It's got 35 spline axle shafts. There's a Detroit locker in this axle as well as in the rear. When I got the front axle, it was a dually front end because it came off a 3500 dually. I ended up getting the single wheel conversion from a website online, and that worked out super good. I ended up picking this thing up on Facebook Marketplace for a pretty good deal, actually. And in the ad, it just said it was a K10 Suburban. It didn't say anything about it being a diesel or not, but I ended up messaging the guy, and the thing actually had a diesel title. Anyways, here's a little bit more on it. So another really good upgrade I knew I wanted to do with my next build was going to be the disc brake conversion on the 14 bolt. With these old trucks, when you start adding the 37-inch tires and the big suspension, stopping when you're off-road becomes absolutely, if not impossible, absolutely hard, if not nearly impossible. But having the hydro boost and then the upgrade kit, I think I got from like Lugnut 4x4 or something like that online again. It's off of like maybe an Eldorado or something like that. Ended up working out super good. There's so many things on this rig, I could keep talking for a while, but anyways, one of the really nice things is the crossover high steer kit. I ended up just using most of the parts from the other Suburban, actually. So yeah, we got the crossover high steer kit on there. Really tightens the steering up quite a bit. I didn't end up changing the shocks or anything like that, but that is definitely something that I plan on doing in the future because she still rides pretty dang rough. I am still in the market for an e-brake as well. The truck right at the moment, it's pretty clean as far as seats and interior goes. Clearly somebody's either changed the rear seat or the front seat. I think they changed the front out at one point. It's still an automatic with the 700 R4 and the 241C transfer case behind the 6.2 liter diesel under the hood. I might pop the hood for you guys and show you kind of what's going on under there. So we'll pop the hood, show you all what's going on under there. This hood's pretty sweet. Don't have to give it the old tap like we used to. So there's the beast itself, 6.2 liter diesel, non-turbo. The thing is an absolute dog. When we first got the Suburban, one of the things we really got it for was just overland camping, that sort of thing. Planning on sleeping out of the back of it and stuff like that, and making cool videos for you guys along the way. Part of the reason for getting the diesel is it gets such good fuel economy. Yeah, especially where we live, it costs a whole heck of a lot to fill it up, but the benefit of not having to worry about fill-ups all the time is really awesome. It is getting somewhere around 18 to 23 miles to the gallon is what I've calculated, which for a huge rig like this, being this old, is it's totally a win in my book over the like 12 miles to the gallon maybe that we were getting in the last truck. Yeah, total win. The other thing that I totally forgot to mention that I did end up changing out, this shackle flip right here. On the old Suburban, it was a 4-inch, and that was just riding a little rough, and we actually had these 6-inch shackles laying around. These things give you even more flex, so it's real bouncy in the rear, but that's kind of how I like it. It gives it a really nice ride on the highway and whatnot. You're not bumping all around, and with that crossover steering, it makes it super nice. So upgrades in the future. I need to fix the gauges, number one. Speedometer works, oil pressure works, voltage is working great. The actual fuel gauge is not working properly, so I need to drop the fuel tank out of this thing, replace the sending unit. I know that's the problem. Check the ohms on it and everything, and it's just not reading. So we're gonna have to replace that for sure. I would like to do some LED backlighting in here. I know like on Amazon and eBay you can get LED lights for this thing, really brighten it up. Number two, the headlights. The headlights are no-go. It's almost like near impossible to drive this thing at night. Just the old factory headlights are done, they're worn out, and I want to feel, you know, safe if I'm cruising this thing, road tripping, that sort of thing. So I think I'm going to pick up a nice set of LEDs and do an LED conversion on this thing. That way we'll be solid. When we're cruising down the road, we'll be able to see forever. I do have light bars and things like that I want to put on it eventually, but that's not really like in my best interest right now because I got something else that's even more awesome to show you guys. So stick around. And yeah, here we go. So everything we've done with this thing so far has been fairly mild. They're all, you know, pretty standard upgrades that guys do to these things to keep them going, make them ride nice. I've got another reason for doing the 1-ton suspension in the front. Part of the reason for even looking for the diesel and looking for more power, essentially, yes, right at the moment it's pretty underpowered. That 6.2 diesel's an absolute dog. It gets great mileage, but it is overall underpowered. But I got something a lot cooler in the works. Basically, within the last year, I've been pretty interested in the idea of pushing the limits with these projects and seeing kind of how far you could take them and stuff like that, and challenging myself not only physically but mentally as well with these builds, and kind of see how gnarly we could get with them. But essentially what I decided to do was I decided to pick up a 12-valve Cummins out of a 93 Dodge 250. I'm currently in the works looking for another NV4500 manual transmission, just like I did for the other Suburban. I'm actually in the process right at the moment of resealing that motor up. It runs great. I already had it running on the test stand. Unfortunately, I don't have too much video of that, which I wish I did. Maybe I can throw some in here of it running on the stand or something like that. It sounds amazing. Right now I'm looking for a transmission and transfer case combo. I think I'm going to go with the manual to try to keep the trend going of getting rid of all the wiring in this thing. I'm looking for probably an NV4500 with a 205 to go behind the Cummins, just to hold up to the torque monster that it's going to be. Potentially maybe a Get Rag, but I hear that they're kind of hard to find parts for. Get Rag 205 combo. So it'll just depend what I stumble across, whatever Facebook or Craigslist or whoever has to offer. So in the next coming months, I'm sure something will come up and I'll be able to hop on it. And of course, if that's the case, I will keep you guys updated. As far as off-road capability goes, we've already had this thing off-road a whole bunch of times. It's done more off-roading than my other truck has by far. Maybe I'll throw in some clips right now of it going off-road here locally.
Look straight towards me. This way a little bit.
So I think that kind of concludes the whole update on the Suburban situation. It does need a couple other things I forgot to mention. It'll need a dash pad. I have one of those. I just need to get it all cleaned up. I've been meaning to take care of that for a little while. Obviously, within the grill, all these lights, they're pretty much junkers. These things are gonna go. I have other bumpers off the other Suburban I'll probably end up throwing on here, steel bumpers. I've even got a tire swing out if I want to go that route. I've been just enjoying the barn doors as is right at the moment. It's really nice to be able to get in here and access the spare tire and sleep out of the back of it without having to swing that big old thing out every time. Anyways, guys, that pretty much concludes the Suburban walk around. Maybe I'll do a quick startup for you and I'll let you hear it. I got another video leaving the house of when it was really cold outside. That'll be a cool cold start, but it's pretty warm now. But here, we'll fire it up for you. If you guys made it to the end of this video, I just wanted to say thank you for sticking around and for clicking on another one of my videos. I know it's been so long since I've uploaded, but overall I do plan on uploading more. Anyways, I really appreciate you sticking around and checking out the continued Suburban content, square body content, truck content. Plan on doing some more camping as well and more adventure videos. Ultimately, you guys have an amazing day. Here's to a great 2024, and we'll see you next time.